what's going on guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and today we just got a metric ton of new information. Capcom just had their next developer diary number 5, and in this one they spoke about the third free title update coming to Iceborne. And, you know, obviously they spoke about that because that's coming next week. That's the one that brings Furious Rajang and Raging Brachydios, but they also spoke about the next festival that's happening in April and gave us a tease for the fan favourite monster returning in May. And honestly, I did not see this one coming. I mean, I'm super happy to see it, but ALATREON or ALATREON, depending on how you pronounce it, is coming back. So, there's a lot of cool stuff. Oh, and also there's layered weapons. So for those of you guys that are fed up with weapon designs, there's a cool system for that. So yeah, in this video, I'm going to break it all down and go over everything you need to know in the event that you missed the stream. So let's start off in chronological order. Of course, the very first thing dropping next week is the next title update, which brings Furious Rajang and Raging Brachydios, the two new variants. Again, reminder, that is next week for console players, it's April for PC players, and then in April, we will all be synced up together. So this is still relevant for all of you, but it's just slightly different timelines. Either way, the Furious Rajang, of course, you know, I've spoken about it before, I've done a dedicated video on it if you guys want to check it out, but they did show a little bit of gameplay showing that Furious Rajang has a new selection of mid and long range moves. It's got a crazy grapple attack, which basically if you get grappled you're going to need some life powders to save your ass, so make sure you do that one. And they also showed the armor, and whoo, this is fantastic. This is the armor that I love. This is 100% something I'm going to be wearing, and they said it has a brand new set bonus skill that a lot of players are going to want to use and enjoy. Of course, we don't know what that is just yet. They didn't show it, but I am excited. They also showed the Palico gear. A lot of the time, I'll be honest, I mean, you know, I love the Palicos and whatnot, but I've just kind of got an armor set that I like for my Palicos, so I very rarely change it. But now, seeing that Palico set is basically Sun Wukong in Palico form, I am having that, I'm keeping it, and it's never coming off. Anyway, that's Furious Rajang. We also got a little look at Raging Brachydios. Of course, he's got some new additions to his moves. Plus, really excitingly, they spoke about how it works in the fight, that when he gets to a certain threshold, and basically you're close to ending him and both close to sort of finishing him, he goes to a special area. He goes to the kind of final area of the Guiding Lands, and he then locks down the area. You can't escape. You can't use Farcasters. You can't lay down traps. And he basically sets the whole area alight. It's kind of, I guess, to a degree, maybe trying to recreate what it's like fighting him in previous games, because he used to be in that one single arena. And that's basically how the fight plays out. We also got to look at the armor set. They did say that this armor set has the same agitator skill that you'll expect on the regular Brachy armor, only this time around it also comes with weakness exploit and other useful skills, and they specifically said gun lance players will be happy. So expecting some kind of maybe artillery stuff or maybe some guard stuff, we'll have to wait and see. Either way, armor looks super cool. Now moving on from there to speak about the next system, they spoke about a new feature. They're adding a new weapon augmentation feature called layered weapons. In a very similar manner to layered armor, where of course you can take the appearance of one thing and wear it on top of something else. You guys of course know that by now, we've been using it quite a lot, great system. They're now adding that to weapons in a kind of similar manner. This way, you know, it's not the same way that it works with armor, where you just, you know, equip it from like the box menu. Instead, this comes as part of augmentation, so you can't do it to any weapon, it has to be a final form weapon. And they're also going to be rolling this out in waves. So to begin with, it'll just apply to most of those sort of like iron bone weapons, the ones that kind of typically don't look too great anyway, and if you want to sort of change those. But then later on down the line, later in April, the second update will come for that, which will then allow you to augment more unique weapons. So things like taking the Volcana Greatsword, turning it to look like the Nogante Greatsword, that kind of stuff. So finally, if you then want to use a weapon that is a boring bone or iron variant, you can at least spice it up and make it look super cool, which of course means basically just take the cool thing that you like the look of and rock it all the time, because whew, that's awesome. So layered weapons are coming, very awesome new system. Moving on from there to speak about some changes to the Guiding Lands. They're going to be adding a new item called the Banishing Ball, which is basically an item that you can use as the leader in the Guiding Lands. It can't be used by anyone, it can only be used by the person that is the leader of that session. But you can basically use it as an item to throw onto a monster and make them leave the Guiding Lands. So if you're in there specifically trying to rotate monsters or trying to, you know, get something to spawn, or you just want to clear something out so you can actually spawn something in, then you can basically use a Banishing Ball and get something to leave, which is kind of handy. They also said some of the charms that were previously capping out at, say, level 4 will actually be going up to level 5. So there are actually some increases to charms. Some examples down below were things like Fury Charm going up to 5, Power Charm going to 5, Mighty Charm and Challenger Charm, that sort of thing. So some of the charms that, of course, allowing us to upgrade that, giving us more points, again, is going to change the way we spec out our mix sets. So interesting to see how that goes. Of course, as part of any of these updates, there's always some paid stuff as well. There's the room stuff, there's all the kind of decorations, the models you can buy. There's models of like Zenoga, Namiel and Safi'jiiva, and there are some new pendants, and I'm definitely going to be buying these because the pendants they're selling this time look really cool. There's like a Paolumu that actually looks like it floats by you. There's a Rajang on a swing. Definitely love that one. 100% going to be picking those up. And again, I've said this in the past, they give us so much damn free content. I'm completely fine if they want to sell a few things anytime they have these updates. They're all cosmetic, doesn't impact your gameplay. It's completely fine. Carry on as you are, Capcom. It's cool. Anyway, moving on from there, there's also some new hairstyles. These will be free, so if you want to mirror the look of some of the NPCs, you can do that. And then we turn our attention to the next festival, the Full Bloom Festival. This comes in April, and of course, as is always the way, new festival means new quests, new gear to earn, of course all the returning event quests, a chance to do like loads of different stuff, and this is of course when we'll all be syncing up together. PC players, console players, will all be enjoying this together. As part of the festival, there's a new snowman to mess around with, there's new quests that you can use to craft special armor like the Tuna Dual Blades and the Downy Crake helmet. So of course we saw them the other day, that I am incredibly excited for, so can't wait to check that out. Then also in a second update in April, there will also be a returning monster. They're bringing back Kulve Taroth, but this time for Master Rank they're doing it as a conventional quest. It will not be a siege quest because of course Safi'jiiva is the better siege system. It would just be really weird to bring back Kulve Taroth and be like, hey, here's a second siege with a slightly less optimized system that you clearly don't want to do. So they're bringing back Kulve Taroth as a standalone 4-man quest. It will begin in Area 2, so you'll of course skip the typical first running around area, and you can then farm this, and provided you've been holding on to your Kulve Taroth weapons, you can then use the Master Rank materials to further upgrade those weapons. It's not going to be in the same way, you won't go down to the weapon tree, you'll actually upgrade it as a new system, but basically you can use those materials to level them up and kind of, add on abilities as you progress with those weapons. So that could be kind of cool. Be interesting to sort of see if we take some of those previously, like, Kulve Taroth at one point was, the meta for some of the weapons. It'll be interesting to see how that will shift the current weapon meta, because of course being able to kind of take Kulve Taroth weapons, bring them up to Master Rank, we could have some really, really good new contenders that sort of push out some of those Safi'jiiva ones. We'll have to wait and see. On top of that, they also announced that there will be returning Arc-Tempered monsters. The very first Arc-Tempered monster we'll be fighting also in April will be Namiel. So yeah, expect a challenge for that one. Of course, for those of you guys that have fought Arc-Tempered before, you'll know what to expect. If you forgot, then don't forget that Arc-Tempered typically comes with a Gamma armor set, so we can expect a new armor set for Namiel, which will, similar skills, but it will have different distributions, so it could be really useful for those of you guys that want to run those elemental builds. And then finally, to round it all out, they spoke about, or they kind of gave us a super quick teaser for the monster dropping in May, the fan favorite monster. And honestly, this is so awesome to see. ALATREON, or ALATREON, I've always said ALATREON, so that's what I want to continue to say. ALATREON is a really awesome Elder Dragon. If you guys haven't fought it before in previous games, it basically has mastery over all the elements. It is genuinely a pretty tough fight, so I cannot wait to see what they do with it in Iceborne, because whenever they bring them back, they always add some nice new flair, has some fantastic armor, has some fantastic weapons. You can expect a follow-up video. Probably next week we'll be taking a look at, some of the things we have to look forward to, so I'll probably do my typical kind of video where we go back and take a look at those monsters to give you an idea as to what you can expect. But we got a little while for that one. That's in May, so that's something to look forward to. But yeah, ALATREON is the next monster coming in May. Anyway, that's your quick rundown on the update that we got today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Of course, if you have any questions, by all means drop them in the comments down below. And be sure to keep it locked, because we will have plenty of Monster Hunter World Iceborne videos coming your way next week, because the update drops, there's things to fight, armor to make, stuff to farm. It's going to be a good time. So if you're hyped for Monster Hunter, stick around. We've got some good stuff coming your way next week. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also, don't forget, you can check out 269 and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.